yes, the Conor fight is still happening. I know everybody was looking for a fight announcement. Trust me, I wish I had that as well, but nothing there yet, but it's going to happen.
Dana White shows off his physical transformation from 2019 to the present day.
I wanted to share this with you guys real quick. So this weekend when I was in Austin, I ran into a buddy of mine. He's like, hey, I wanted to show you this picture we took in 2019. Check this shit out. This was me in 2019, and then the other picture is me this morning. Garry Brecka, I fucking love you, brother.
On to a disappointing news next. Giga Chikadze is out of his UFC 297 fight versus Josh Emmett. Giga released a footage of the moment he tore his groin while training for UFC 296. So here's the craziest news of the week. The UFC just signed 6'7" tall Cuban Olympic Taekwondo medalist Robert Despain, who happens to finish his last 3 opponents in, ready for this? Less than 15 seconds.
Despain banks.
Oh no! My good God!
No way! My God! Robelis Despain does it again! Less than 5 seconds!
How?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. I just received word that the UFC just signed Robelis Despain. Confirmed by Mick Maynard. Robelis Despain signed to the UFC.
Jared Gordon undergoes surgery to fix a nerve block in his arm.
So, pre-op, just got a nerve block in my arm. I can't even move my hand. They gave me some sedation, so that was nice. Surgery should be about an hour, hour and a half. And road to recovery coming soon. To a theater near you.
This little fluff.
They gave me the goods. It's been a while. Surgery was a success.
Yeah. He's the best.
I was ready to go now.
Tony Ferguson trains for UFC 296 fight versus Paddy Pimblett.
Follow through, hands up, follow through, hands up. Come on, hard. Come on, come on. Come on, that's it. Right down the middle. Right down the middle. Come on, turn into it. Let's go. Let's go.
Eddie Alvarez confirms that Mike Perry broke his orbital bone during their bare knuckle fight. Neil Magny claims Ian Garry's child abuser comments almost cost him custody of his kids.
The whooping that you give somebody in high school, like, or in grade school, is when he told my mom, and you put the beat him on there. And there's a whooping that you give your son now, like to kind of teach him life a little bit. And being a father, I've become quite accustomed to that kind of whooping now, and that's kind of what we're looking forward to giving on Saturday.
Being a father, I've got kind of accustomed to giving that up in that ass. Sorry.
You.
Whoa.
This is his wife.
1 second. Shush. Bro, he just sat there and said, being a father, word for word, being a father, I've got accustomed to giving that ass whooping.
Being a father, I've become quite accustomed to that kind of whooping now, and that's kind of what we're looking forward to giving on Saturday. I mean, he's out there, he's very cocky, he's doing himself, everything.
Alright, so he's going to beat Gary well.
Oh my goodness, I will never whoop your ass. I'll never whoop your ass, it's okay. Do you want me to beat him up? I'll beat him up because apparently he beat his son up.
Magny's a scumbag, and I'm glad I went down and gave him a hiding, because
he said at that press conference to you guys last week. I don't know how none of you picked up on that, by the way. The first second I heard that, I was like, what did he just say? I paused. I was like, sorry. I must have misunderstood that. I watched it again and I was like, oh my goodness. You cannot say something like that and get away with it.
It seems that brought something out of you.
Fucking right it did.
You almost
justice.
That you have some bad blood now going into a fight?
Look, my baby sat over there in the corner over here, right? I know from my life, I was a pest as a kid. Look at me, I'm the exact type of person that's gonna cause trouble. Do you know what I mean? I got a fucking whack at a wooden spoon. That doesn't mean I go and fucking do it to him. No, you break the cycle. And I see a lot of these comments being like, oh, this. If you want to be better and you want to change the world, don't do what you don't want to do to your life. Break the fucking cycle, be a better human, be a better man, and let's change the fucking world. And don't ever touch a fucking kid.
Yeah.
That's my attitude, and I don't think there's anyone in this room that's going to fucking disagree with me. And if you do, come talk to me.
Speaking to Sportskeeda MMA, Magny said, Garry's comments in itself had a lot more consequences than just like nonsense at the press conference. There were literally screenshots being taken of headlines saying that I'm a child abuser and I do this to my kids. There were screenshots being taken and put into apps and things like that that would be admissible in court, where I'm literally fighting for custody of my children. Michael Chandler says he knows someone who may have knocked out Ian Garry in sparring.
Who knocked out Ian Garry in sparring? I actually don't know the answer to that. I don't know if I know of somebody who may have, but I was not there. So it was just hearsay, and it was at my gym in Florida. But I'm not going to say who it was because I don't want speculation to happen, even though now someone's probably going to take this and say I speculated it. But we all get hit in sparring, all right? We all get rocked in sparring. It happens, but...
On to the next news. John Jones slams newcomer Tom Aspinall for saying he should be stripped of his UFC heavyweight title. Jones released a statement on Twitter saying, "I've faced the absolute toughest competition this world had to offer for 15 years now. During camp for a title defense, I sustained a major injury that required surgery for the first time in my career. Now I have newcomers requesting I get my championship stripped. 0 wins over legends, 0 title defenses, and already thinking you can call the shots to Dana. That's hilarious. In my 15-year career, I have seen so many guys who are supposed to be the next big thing. There's ever only been one John Jones, never forget that."
Tom Aspinall called for John Jones to get stripped of the title.
What did he do?
He called for John Jones to get stripped for the title, and apparently Daniel Cormier agreed with that. So what did you think? Because maybe setting up a title fight with Aspinall.
The Stipe fight has to happen, yeah. You know, but both of those guys deserve it. John, you got the greatest mixed martial artist of all time versus the greatest heavyweight of all time. They paid their dues. They've done their things. These two want to fight each other. It's going to happen. Whoever wins, we'll see what they decide to do after that, and then we'll go from there.
We haven't seen you since March of last year. What have you been doing? And has it been tough not fighting for 18 months?
It's been extremely tough because as soon as I got done with that fight with George in March, I went backstage to Hunter Campbell backstage and I said, "Hunter, I want to fight again in June or July. Get me back in there. I need to fight. Like, I'm in my prime right now. I want to go capitalize." They were looking at setting up that fight with that motherfucker Khamzat Chimaev, but he's unprofessional. He's a clown. He's out there laughing when he's missing weight by 10 pounds, making a fool of this publicly traded, beautiful company of the UFC, making a fool laughing while you're ruining their main event pay-per-view. So he's not accountable. He's not someone they can trust in that spotlight. And they gave him the easiest fight in the division. A guy, the soy boy, the washed up Nate Diaz that shouldn't even be fighting anymore. The guy can't even talk straight. He's not even coherent anymore. They gave him the easiest fight to set up to get this big money fight with Colby Covington Covington. He couldn't pass the test. He was afraid, it's plain and simple. So he ran away from me to middleweight, and you know, it sucks because they were trying to set that fight up. So that's what's been the delay is other fighters not agreeing to the fights and not doing business for the UFC. You think I wanted to sit out 18 months? I'm in my prime. You think I wanted to sit through my prime years? I wanted to fight in June and July, right after my last fight with George. It's not my fault that I had to sit out that long. It's the other people's fault. You think Hunter Campbell, Dana White would put me in this position to be the UFC welterweight #1 contender if I was turning down fights and sitting out 18 months? No, I accepted every single fight they offered. Khamzat Chimaev, Dustin Poirier, whoever else they had, didn't matter. I said yes, 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 never said no one time in my career. So I wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for me always being a yes man and wanting to be the ultimate company man. You know, I'm a tough son of a gun, and you know, December 16th, I'm coming to get that belt. I don't care who's in my way. No one's beating me in front of Donald Trump.
I know everybody was looking for a fight announcement. Trust me, I wish I had that as well, but nothing there yet, but it's going to happen.
It's been 84 years